Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
A passionate reaction today to a reversal by the state.
The Texas Transportation Commission yesterday voted to allow TxDOT to reclaim a roughly 2-mile stretch of Broadway. That blocks the city's development plans for the Broadway corridor that have been underway for years.
Our Erica Hernandez getting some of that reaction today, and the most heated coming from the local cycling community.
It's a huge setback for San Antonio.
Local cyclist Katie Nickus is one of many San Antonio cyclists frustrated by TxDOT's decision to nix San Antonio plans that would have added protected bike lanes to Broadway.
We need public outrage about this.
Brian Walker of Bike San Antonio was one of several from the cycling community who tried to convince the Texas Transportation Commission in Austin yesterday. Their words weren't enough, and the commission voted 3-1 to stop the planned handoff of that 2.2-mile stretch between I-35 and Burr Road.
This is the exact opposite of small government. The TxDOT should trust the San Antonians to make decisions that's right for them and their community.
The sidewalks along Broadway are just enough room for pedestrians, let alone for cyclists. It is why the cycling community is mostly concerned about their safety.
These roads need to go on a diet, and they need to make it safer and better for pedestrians, bus riders, and cyclists. What I'm hearing from TxDOT is a 1 to 2 minute delay is not worth saving lives.
But not everyone was against this vote.
You can tell by the amount of traffic on it. To reduce it down to bike lanes on each side and picturesque, that's beautiful, but it doesn't serve the community.
TxDOT did say working with San Antonio on the project is something they want to continue going forward, but with no reduction in lanes as part of the plan, it seems for now, cyclists will have to continue using the roadway to get around. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Cited, boarded up, and fenced in. The city of San Antonio shutting down an East Side bar, at least for now, after hundreds of service calls and dozens of shootings, including several just this week. The city of San Antonio temporarily shutting down Twin Sisters Cantina. It's at the corner of Hackberry and Drexel Street. The bar, according to court documents, is run by Israel Castro. The temporary restraining order only good for 2 weeks, but the city is asking for the business to be closed for at least a year.
There's 70 different types of shootings at that location in and around that area. It's been a major disaster, basically, for the citizens and neighboring community in that area as well. The last call really came about on Wednesday night or Thursday early morning. There was 3 more shootings and 3 more victims. So we had enough. It's one of those we had to do something.
Another notice placed on the door for a public hearing in front of the Building Standards Board. If it's determined to be a public nuisance, it could be demolished at the owner's expense.
We've learned the name of the woman found dead in a driveway just northeast of downtown this past weekend. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identifying her as 42-year-old Victoria Stampley. According to police, Stampley found dead with a gunshot wound last Saturday in front of a home on Post Avenue. That's just off Broadway. Neighbors tell officers they heard gunshots a few hours before the woman was found that morning. So far, no arrests have been made in connection with that case.
Police in New Braunfels say a late-night crash that killed an Austin man was likely the result of speeding. This happened last night a little before 10 on the southbound frontage road of I-35 leading on to Business 35. Officers say the driver, 31-year-old Jarlin Giacona of Austin, couldn't make that curve, ran off the road there, and rolled his car several times before he was thrown from it. He was pronounced dead there at the scene. No other vehicles were involved and no one else was injured.
Nearly 5,000 new COVID cases reported in the last 24 hours. Metro Health reporting that 15 more people have died. COVID complications have put more than 1,200 people in Bexar County hospitals, according to Metro Health. Almost 300 patients are in the intensive care units. 127 are on a ventilator.
If you are looking for a place to get vaccinated or tested, you've got plenty of options. We have compiled a list of those places where you can get either done. You can find that list on KSAT.com. Just scan one of the QR codes that you see here on your screen with your phone right now. That will take you directly to our website and to that list of area testing and vaccination sites.
Monday, the deadline to register to vote in the March primary election, and there's been some confusion about voting changes in Texas. to say the least. RJ Marquez breaks down what you need to know and the key deadlines.
From local and county to statewide elections, there are several important Democratic and Republican primaries that Bexar County voters will head to the polls for this March. But before then, you need to make sure that you're registered to vote. In Bexar County, you can find a registration application online, print it, and fill it out. The application needs to be turned into the Elections Department on South Frio Street by Monday. You can go in person or mail it in with a postmark by Monday as well. When it comes to mail-in balloting, the state made some big changes that voters need to be aware of.
They now must provide either their Texas driver's license or the last four of their social, which we match to their record. So if they send in their application and we don't have a number to match it to, then we have to reject it.
Yesterday, we reported on dozens of vote-by-mail applications that were sent by mistake to the Bexar County Clerk's office instead of the elections office.
Check your mail before you fill out your application. This is not a conversation about party affiliation. This is a conversation about getting the information out to our constituents and making sure that they don't not lose out on the deadline of filing their mail-in ballot.
And the deadline to get your vote-by-mail application to the Bexar County Elections Department right here is February 18th. They have all this information online, and you could also call 210-335-8683 to clear up any confusion or if you have any questions. Reporting from the Elections Office, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
If you spent more time on social media last year, you were hardly alone. So did scammers, and they had a lot of success. The Federal Trade Commission says that 1/4 of all fraud victims last year were first contacted through social media. And total losses? We're talking $770 million. A lot of that was due to a massive surge in phony investment schemes. It often starts with a direct message from a stranger or a friend's hacked account.
The person will start to sort of drop hints that they're really great at investing, and wouldn't you like to try investing in cryptocurrency?
Romance scams also saw a big increase. So did online shopping. People would see an ad pop up on social media. They would buy the product, but get nothing. One step to protect yourself is to use your privacy settings and limit who can see your posts and your information.
In New at 6, a Leon Springs landmark is no more. The Leon Springs Dance Hall has been demolished. Demolition crews made short work of the once popular destination at I-10 West and Bernie Stage Road, kind of right across from the Rudy's there. The wash tub owns the property now and says that the building had to come down due to safety concerns and age. The red barn-style building had become an icon, was popular in the 90s and early 2000s. After it was closed, it was reopened by a catering company for special events, but it was closed down for good in 2017. A wash tub spokesperson says there are no plans to develop anything on the property right now.
Let's take a look at traffic right now. The TransGuide camera here at I-35 in Topperwine. You can see in one direction here, it is very slow going. Now, we don't have any indication as to why, a wreck or construction. We're not sure on the specifics, but you can see that there is a big slowdown happening at I-35 in Topperwine. This week's episode of KSAT Explains is all about esports. There are scholarships and even bigger cash prizes, plus an entire industry that's built around esports. The YMCA of Greater San Antonio is offering avenues for gamers to compete. KSAT Explains video editor and graphic artist Valerie Gomez and our own resident gamer tells us about the plans for the new program.
The esports industry has experienced explosive growth over the past decade. And for the past couple of years, the pandemic has helped fuel this growth as more young people needed new ways to connect and compete.
I think with COVID and a shutdown in our community, there was this desire to find more virtual options.
So the YMCA of Greater San Antonio decided to launch an esports program. They quickly learned that starting an esports program presents unique challenges.
So from an online world, in a gaming world, that technology tends to be expensive at times, we're able to provide it a low-cost option.
They also needed to find someone who had the expertise to run the program. That led them to Chris Sines, who is already a part of the San Antonio esports community. He founded Texas Gaming Empire, an organization that hosts tournaments and provides educational opportunities for local gamers. YMCA's new program is starting small, but Sines already has big plans.
Well, we're starting off by including Austin, so we'll have some friendly San Antonio-Austin rivalries, and then we just help to develop and cultivate that culture across Texas.
Over the next 6 weeks, they'll be recruiting kids ages 12 to 17. The inaugural spring season is slated to begin the week of March 28th. They plan to run a variety of games, including Madden, Super Smash Bros., and Fortnite.
It's exciting to be able to work with new families that are into this type of experience, and I really think this program can really take off and provide a lot of opportunity for kids in San Antonio, and that's going to be exciting to see and watch develop.
Valerie Gomez, KSAT 12 News.
Now, if you'd like more information on how to get your child involved in the YMCA's Esports League, head to the YMCA of Greater San Antonio website. That is YMCASATX.org. And to learn more about San Antonio's growing esports industry in general and some big investment that is happening in our community in regard to that, watch the latest episode of KSAT Explains. It is available to stream right now on demand. Just go to ksat.com/explains.
By the way, Valerie started her own Mario Kart league at the station.
Yes,
I'm a little intimidated to play.
There were some rowdy tournaments, a lot of yelling happening.
Now, if it was NHL 22, I'd be in.
Yeah.
I've been honing my skills on that lately.
See, I'm more of an F1 guy.
Yeah.
Like I got that game, I can do that.
Everybody has their preference when it comes to video games. My kids love to play video games with me. They all like different ones. Anyway, today 43 earlier this morning. That was right near average. This afternoon, 61 degrees for the high. That's 4 degrees below average. A warming trend is on the way, though, but have a jacket handy tonight. Temperatures falling quickly. Canyon Lake 55 now, 56 in Hondo, Stinson at 60 degrees, and I think by 10 o'clock we'll be close to 40 with a light freeze tomorrow morning. Warming trend, another cold snap on the way, and a chance of rain all coming up.
Lots on tap tonight on the Night Beat. We're going to show you how a new program is changing the way that police interact with the public, and it follows the digital trend. Cops could ticket you through your phone. Yes, they can give you a fine without even speaking to you. We're going to explain that and also look into whether it would impact race and policing. Also, a local cancer survivor gives back how she's using her talent on the farm to help others who are battling cancer. A real feel-good story. We're excited to bring it to you tonight on the Night Beat.
All right, thanks, Stephanie. Well, it looked a lot different than what we were hoping for, but a pre-rodeo tradition carried on this morning. The 44th annual Cowboy Breakfast took place this morning at St. Philip's College. COVID-19 made it an invitation-only event. Photojournalist Tim Stewart was there and shows us how both first responders and culinary students saddled up to benefit.
Today is all about Cowboy Breakfast. Due to COVID, we had to do a smaller version.
Unfortunately, we had to do a private event this year, and the board decided we wanted to do something to honor our first responders. We selected the San Antonio Fire Department and the San Antonio Police Department to honor with this event.
This is Battalion 7. First responders have been at our side through this pandemic, and so we really appreciate their service, not only in that time, but any time when you're in crisis. So we're happy to be here and give back to them.
The culinary students help prepare everything for us.
We're very happy to be able to participate in this breakfast. This is the first time we're holding it at the Tourism, Hospitality, and Culinary Arts, our first premier building, brand new Culinary Arts Center.
It's fantastic. We've had a couple of years. We've been short on volunteers, and then here comes the guys with the white hats, the white cooking hats, and they've saved the day a couple of times for us.
I just think it's thrilling for the students. They really get something back from doing this.
We were just honored to be able to put all this together and have the people and the support to make this happen and to raise the $10,000 to give the scholarship fund.
Oh man, that looked good.
I was going to say that food looked really good. It could be because it's dinner time, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, let's switch over to weather right now. Adam, you've been out there at Cowboy Breakfast before, bright and early.
Mm-hmm.
Dark and early.
Dark and early, yeah.
Rode the mechanical bull one time, if I remember right.
If there's a mechanical bull, I'm hopping on it.
Yeah.
Wherever I am.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
No.
Yeah.
Got some tips and tricks to help make that ride last a little longer, too. By keeping myself, I'm not going to share them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll have to tell you. So just squeeze really hard with your legs for one, okay? Just really hard. That's one of the biggest tips that I'm going to give you to start. Anyway, rain chance coming on Monday. Brief warming trend on the way, but brief is the key word because a cold snap is coming next Thursday. So let's talk about all of it now. I'm going to start with the rain chance. This weekend, nothing but sunshine, beautiful. We'll get into the details. Let's look ahead to our next shot at rain. We could use the moisture, and there's actually the potential for some meaningful rain with this next system. All right, let's get to the maps and take a look at it there. We had a few light showers earlier this morning, mainly south of San Antonio, a few hundredths of an inch here and there, but the clouds cleared on out and led to nothing but sunshine. Big picture, all eyes are on the East Coast, particularly New England, where a nor'easter's coming together. The surface low pressure system just off the coast of Carolinas now, it's going to push northward and rapidly deepen and intensify. Could bring a few feet of snow to parts of New England. Around here, sunshine all weekend. Our next disturbance, that's over the Pacific right now. This upper level dip and counterclockwise swirl in the atmosphere, that's just west of Los Angeles. That's going to be headed our way, and it's going to make it here Monday morning. So let's talk about the futurecast, and we will have just enough moisture to squeeze out, I think, a few meaningful showers in certain parts of our area. This weekend, nothing but sunshine. Upper disturbance drops in on Monday. First thing Monday morning, some scattered areas of rain, maybe even a few non-severe thunderstorms. So just a few rumbles of thunder and a bit of lightning here, flashes of lightning here and there. But I do think most of the moisture for this upper system to tap into is going to be east of Highway 281. So those of you, Seguin, Gonzales, Cuero, Hallettsville, Moulton area, that's where we could have actually some meaningful rainfall. Notice this is 7 a.m. showing the potential for some moderate to heavy rain. And then as that system's energy moves eastward, it taps into that deeper moisture, dew points closer to 60 degrees and just some better conditions to maybe kickstart some meaningful rainfall. So the closer you are to the Gulf coastline and farther east you are of San Antonio, the higher rainfall potential you have as we get into Monday. Right now, I'm thinking we could see a half an inch here and there in locations east of town. That's what I'm hoping for. There's still a lot of time between now and then in that system. It's still out over the Pacific where we can't even directly measure it. So we got to give it some time, but we'll keep you updated. 56 right now. We're going to talk temperatures and how things change. All right, northeasterly breeze at 9. Hondo, 56, along with Uvalde, 48 currently in Kerrville. And tonight we're going to have a brief light freeze. The cold air that's going to be headed our way next week isn't even on the map yet. And we often check up into Canada and I'll point out how cold it is and that cold air is coming our way. It's not even there yet. It's over the Arctic Ocean, okay? And it's heading southward. And by early next week, you'll see that cold air start to drop into the northern U.S. We're going to be warming up through Wednesday, but then by Thursday, we're going to get clipped by that cold air. That's way off. It's basically at the North Pole right now, and it's going to be pushing southward. And so we'll keep an eye on it and let you know, but it does not look anything like last February. That's the key. So 31 tomorrow morning, 64 in the afternoon. We'll have some upper 20s out there to start the day tomorrow, but I think most of us around San Antonio near 30. And then well into the 60s, both afternoons, Saturday and Sunday. So a comfortable and sunny weekend, not too much of a breeze. 70s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we're looking at high temperatures a little closer to 40 by next Thursday and Friday. So not last February, but you're going to feel the chill anyway.
Yikes.
Yeah, definitely. Enjoy this weekend. Thanks, Adam. All
right, Spurs back in action tonight at the AT&T Center, taking on the revitalized Chicago Bulls.
And they're revitalized thanks in large part because of DeMar DeRozan. He's having an excellent season. And one of the reasons why Chicago is second best in the Eastern Conference. Coming up, Derek White recalls his time with DeMar. And in college football, Steel alum JT Woods has accepted his invitation to the Senior Bowl. Coming up. The Spurs are home tonight to face the Chicago Bulls that are one and only regular season visit to the Alamo City. The Spurs are 9-16 at home this season and have lost 3 straight at the AT&T Center, including a 118-110 setback Wednesday night to Memphis. Chicago comes to town second best in the East, 1/2 game behind the Miami Heat. One reason for their success is former Spur DeMar DeRozan, who leads the Bulls this season in points and assists per game. During his time here in SA, DeMar helped the young Spurs get better.
He just did a little bit of everything for us, off the court, on the court, scored, assisted. You kind of just see how smart of a basketball mind he is, and I'm extremely thankful that I got to play 2 years with him, and I'm wishing the best for him.
Last night, DeMar was named as an Eastern Conference All-Star Game starter for the 2022 NBA All-Star Game, his 5th All-Star nod. DeMar says he owes Coach Pop a lot because he brought out the best in him during his 3 seasons with the Spurs.
He challenged me beyond my imagination on and off the court to develop, to be a better individual. But on the court, he just brought a lot of things out of me that I didn't know was in there at that point in my career, and I gotta give so much credit to him for that because, he took that stance the first day I came to San Antonio, and it did so much for me to be able to be the player I am now.
Spurs will host the Bulls tonight at 7:30 at the AT&T Center. Turning to college football, Baylor Bears safety J.T. Woods is getting ready for the Reese's Senior Bowl on Saturday, February 5th. This past season, the Steele High School alum intercepted 6 passes, which was tied for the most in the FBS. He also recorded 57 tackles. We recently caught up with Woods via Zoom while he was training in Arizona to ask him about his Senior Bowl invite.
It was kind of up in the air. I think some of it is a numbers game. I think I would have gotten an invite a little earlier. But just it was always known that there was a possibility that I would still get an invite. So I was just kind of playing it by ear. And then I got the call a couple of days ago that I had been invited. So my parents were really, really happy. My agents, they were excited to express that news to me as well. And I also got to speak with Mr. Nagy as well. So just an amazing accomplishment, a great opportunity for me to, go and showcase my talent. And then on top of that, I'm getting to go and play with 3 of my teammates from Baylor on the biggest stage that you could be in an All-Star game with, Abram Smith, Terrell Bernard, and Jalen Petrie. So I know I'm going to have so much fun with those guys, especially with those guys being on my team. Getting to play one more game with them is just very fun.
Hey, do you know Spencer Burford from Judson UTSA football? He's going to be there.
Of course I do. SA legend, me and him, we played Little League football together so many years, kind of where it all got started. So, of course I do. Yeah, I've been following all those guys.
Woods was also invited to the NFL Scouting Combine held the first week of March in Indianapolis. We'll have more with Woods in the coming days. And Judson Rocket greats Sincere McCormick and DeMarvin Leal are both invited to the NFL Scouting Combine as well. Sincere played college ball for UTSA and Leal at Texas A&M. Both guys tweeted the good news.
Love it when you see those San Antonio guys make it big.
Yes.
Very cool. Thank you, Larry. Our KSAT Q&A is coming up next.
Who among us couldn't use another chance, another opportunity? Well, that's part of what they do at Crosspoint. It is a San Antonio organization that I think not a lot of people know about. When you say Crosspoint, what do you think? Well, we're going to hopefully change that today. Dr. Kevin Downey is the president and CEO of Crosspoint. He's also a friend of mine. I am very happy that you could join us. I know you had your community restoration luncheon today that I was pleased to be part of. Talk about Crosspoint. What do you tell people when they're like, I don't know what Crosspoint is? What do you say to them?
Well, I start off by telling them that since 1963, Crosspoint has been providing transitional residential support services for all kinds of vulnerable citizens. And a lot of people don't understand what transitional services are, but we are basically the linking pin for people that are coming from one situation where they need help desperately, and we get them on the road toward independence and self-sufficiency. A lot of people know us. The ones that know us often are about our prison re-entry programs or our homeless veterans programs. Mm-hmm. But in recent years, Crosspoint has endeavored to meet the evolving needs of our growing community. And in doing so, we had to come up with some very innovative programs to address the changing population.
And you all do deal with and help out so many different groups, like you mentioned, veterans, people getting out of the jail who are looking for a way to transition back into normal life. But women especially, that's a big initiative for you all right now. You already have Casa Mia, so talk a little bit about what that is.
And why you decided to do that, Kevin.
Okay, well, I would start off by quickly saying that a few years ago, we started out with behavioral health transitions, which is a program that does transitional services. But this is for individuals who are either heading toward jail and we divert them, or men who were being released from behavioral health hospitals and really had nowhere to go. So Crosspoint started doing transitional services for them at the end of 2017. And then in 2018, to deal with the opioid crisis, we opened up Casa Mia, which is a residential support program for women who are pregnant or parenting that have substance abuse disorders and their babies. So when women would give birth and the babies were substance exposed, CPS, Child Protective Services, would often take the child away. And Crosspoint built Casa Mia with the help of UT Health School of Nursing to give these young mothers or pregnant women an opportunity to go through treatment and stay connected with their babies in one fashion or another. And it is a very nice 20-bed facility in the Monte Vista area. And UT Health provides nurses over there to help them. We work on them with life skills, with nutrition, with relationship building. But the issue was, and Steve is aware of this, that we could only serve opioid-addicted mothers. The problem is, in this city, there are women who need help with other issues, whether it's they had been addicted to cocaine or methamphetamine or alcohol. So we decided, and by we I mean Crosspoint and UT Health School of Nursing, to look for property to build a 4-acre campus where we could expand this model and serve mothers with all different kinds of substance use disorders.
It's an amazing program because you want to talk about an incentive to go through the program and get clean and sober. They have their child with them a big part of the time as they go through this program. It's like their incentive is right there with them in the crib. It's an amazing program.
It absolutely is. And we've found that one of the things that has been really good for us is the fact that these mothers are together, that this offers a unique opportunity for peer support where they help one another. And we have seen in our first few years at Casa Mia that 75% of the mothers are reunited with their babies when they leave us, which is a really good number because you think about it, if they weren't with us, number one, the babies would have been pulled away. They probably would have gone to a very expensive NICU experience. They could be fostered out, but this gives the mother the opportunity, the cushion, to begin getting the help, the resources, the guidance that they need to have a self-sustaining life. And also, the babies often will get the opportunity to visit with mom on the weekends. And then if everything's working out, they rejoin and the mom and baby gets to leave together to start their new life.
Wow.
Yeah, to be able to maintain that connection while going through such an incredible change has to be so important in terms of recovery and making that transition. You talked about the land that you all have looked for this new part of your initiative for women who have substance abuse issues. This is going to be the Women's Wellness Campus. Is that right? Tell us what's to come there.
Sure. We purchased property in July. We initially purchased 3.4 acres. We subsequently bought another 0.4 acres next door. So it's going to be a 3.8 acre campus. And it is so cool because not only is it the transitional care that we have at Casa Mia, but the UT Health School of Nursing has helped us design, and they are going to staff a primary health care unit for moms and babies right there on the campus. There's also going to be a nursery. So those babies that are also undergoing withdrawal can be at the nursery with their mom. And research has shown that both baby and mom does better if the dyad stays together while they're there. The other part of this, so that's a 10,200 square foot residence. We will then, after that, build 3 more 6,000 square foot residences to assist homeless female veterans, to assist women being released from behavioral health hospitals who have nowhere to go, and women who have criminal justice system involvement. That could be Esperanza Court, It could be drug court. But they have a place to go where they get professional care 24 hours a day for the amount of time they need until they're ready to live on their own.
It's amazing. And at today's luncheon, just hearing the graduates from so many of these different programs, including KSAT, talk about their experiences and how they've turned their lives around is amazing. Dr. Kevin Downey is the president and CEO of Crosspoint. If people want more information, I know you're going to need money to build this building. CrosspointSA.org, is that the website?
It's CP, like Crosspoint, CPSATX.org. Please join us on the website. You can do a virtual walk through all of our houses, including KSAT, to get an idea of what life looks like in a transitional care environment.
CPSATX.org.
That's it.
Dr. Kevin Downey, appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. We'll be right back.
Yeah, this is 281 South at Loop 410. It's actually the northbound lanes of 281, kind of between Jones-Maltzberger and the flyover of Loop 410 there. And you can see traffic is down to just one lane against the northbound lanes.
You can see that there's a vehicle, that white vehicle up there by the barrier, and the traffic that is being let through, very slow going right now. As Steve mentioned, just one lane of traffic being let in. We're not really sure exactly what happened, what led up to this incident, but a lot of flashing lights, a lot of first responders, and traffic slow going because of this emergency.
All right, so here we're a nice sunny day. I'm hoping for a sunny weekend, but a lot of talk about the nor'easter that is on the East Coast. And as luck would have it, our Adam Caskey used to work on the East Coast, so he has some experience with nor'easters.
Nor'easters, they're fascinating. I mean, I could go on and on, Steve. You're just setting me up right now to get into time jail here with producer Bill.
I actually was trying to tap your expertise on this particular issue.
Well, and the reason they're nor'easters is because they're low pressure systems that rapidly strengthen along the eastern seaboard, just offshore usually, and they bring a northeasterly wind onshore, and sometimes that wind can be hurricane force in parts of New England, and they bring a wallop of snow sometimes, such as this weekend for New England. Around here, cool tonight. I mean, 56 right now, will be near 40 at 10 o'clock. A light freeze tomorrow morning, brief warming trend. And then we get a strong cold front next week with a chance of rain to talk about.
If you have been waiting to get behind the wheel of Tesla's new Cybertruck, which was delayed from its announced street date of 2021, well, this is not your year. The electric pickup is delayed yet again. CEO Elon Musk told investors the pickup won't be ready until 2023. 2 years after it was promised.
Yeah, it seems like the Cybertruck is stuck in the cyber muck. Musk said the main issue is new technology, finding a price that people are willing to pay for it. Now, when the truck was announced in 2019, it had a starting price of $39,900. Well, Musk also said no new vehicles will be announced this year by Tesla.
The look that Adam Caskey gave you on that pun, oh, that was great. A new member of the First family is living in the White House now. This is Willow the cat. She is a short-haired 2-year-old tabby. First Lady Jill Biden met at a campaign stop back in 2020. That's when Willow jumped on stage at a farm where she was speaking. Friends fostered the first kitty for several months before she then moved into the White House.
Dr. Biden named her Willow after her hometown of Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. She's now sharing her fancy digs with Commander, the German Shepherd puppy. The Bidens adopted in December after the family's 13-year-old shepherd, Champ, died. You may also remember the Bidens briefly had another German Shepherd named Major, who had to be rehomed after he bit staff members. Willow is the first cat to live in the White House since the George W. Bush administration.
It's a pretty cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first cat.
It is the first cat. All right, we are headed towards a beautiful weekend.
Yes. Just a little chilly in the mornings.
Okay, I can handle that. But there's sunshine involved, right?
Yes, there is. I'm sorry, we had the cat story. You know what that brings up? What do you call a pile of cats?
Yeah, oh, yes.
Yeah,
a meowton.
The worst, best joke ever told around
here. That's Courtney Friedman's
joke.
I mean,
if she's at home, she is crying, laughing.
That was for you, Courtney.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was totally for her. She cannot stop laughing at that joke.
She can't get the joke out.
No, she can't. She can't finish it because she's laughing so hard. Oh, love it. All right, rain chances Monday, a brief warming trend this weekend and into the middle of next week, then a cold snap by next Thursday. We're not looking at a prolonged freeze like we had last February. It's not going to be like that, but it's going to be noticeably colder outside and you're going to feel the chill in the air. So let's get to the big weather pattern. We talked about the nor'easter developing along the eastern seaboard. Big upper level dip in the upper level flow is helping to kickstart that what we call cyclogenesis right along the east coast, just offshore. And actually what contributes to these storms is we've got the Gulf Stream, the warm waters that flow northward offshore of the east coast. And that temperature difference between the cold air and that warm water really helps to fuel those systems and help get them going and translate that into a lot of snowfall. So parts of New England could see a few feet of snow from that over the weekend. Our next disturbance, that's over the Pacific Ocean right now, just west of Los Angeles. That's headed our way, not this weekend. It's going to make it here by Monday. So here's a look at our future cast. And I really like how, it has the sunshine, but how it handles the rainfall and the potential, especially east of 281 into Monday. This is midnight Monday. Nothing really happening out there, but as we get into sunrise, we could have some areas of moderate rainfall possible. Then especially east of 281 where we have more moisture in place, dew points likely near 60, that's where we could actually have some meaningful showers. The closer you are to the Gulf coastline, the higher your potential for some of that meaningful rainfall as we get on into Monday morning and even into the midday hour. So we're crossing our fingers. It's still early. This is a system still way out in the Pacific, but at least it has the potential for some meaningful rain. All right, let's talk temperatures. 56 right now, dew point 23 degrees. So obviously dry air still in place. You may feel it on your skin, dry skin, chapped lips. Del Rio 62 currently, but 46 in Rock Springs, 54 in Pleasanton, and 60 in Cotulla. Here's the big picture. We talked about the colder air, still not on the map yet, but I do anticipate the colder air that's going to dislodge from the North Pole. I mean, it's not even affecting parts of Canada yet. I expect readings by early next week in parts of Canada in the 30s below zero, and in even parts of North Dakota, northern Minnesota, in the nearly 40 below zero by the middle part of next week. But that cold air, it's over the North Pole now. It's going to plunge southward, and it's not going to affect us until we get into the end of next week. And we're just going to get clipped by the edge of that cold air mass for a few days. So here's the breakdown. Tomorrow, 31 in the morning. By the afternoon, we'll be in the mid-60s with a lot of sunshine. I do think we'll have some upper 20s out there to start the day tomorrow, but then we all get into the 60s, and Sunday very similar, just a few degrees warmer, and total sunshine all weekend long. We look ahead, we get into the 70s Tuesday and Wednesday, but then by Thursday and Friday of next week, high temperatures a little closer to 40, so we'll keep you updated on that.
Ooh, thank you, Adam.
In case you missed it, coming up next.
Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
And good morning. It is Friday, January 28th.
Investigators in Medina County breaking up a web of drug trafficking. Investigators say the case first came out of Hondo when police noted a series of drug deals back in October of 2020. More law enforcement joined the case before spreading to many surrounding counties and even Mexico.
Stories we're following today. A woman was taken into custody after police say she stabbed a man last night.
Police say angry words were exchanged between the couple. That's when the woman stabbed the man. The woman was taken into custody.
Just hours after a major bridge collapsed in Pittsburgh, President Biden making a visit to the site, part of a trip to the city to discuss federal efforts to rebuild the nation's crumbling infrastructure.
They're going to fix them all. Not a joke.
The president thanking first responders who rushed to the scene this morning.
New video shows the moments a gunman opened fire in Houston Thursday, shooting 3 police officers before carjacking a Mercedes at gunpoint.
Mercedes, he just carjacked a white Mercedes.
Authorities say the chaos began when those officers responded to a disturbance call, the suspect spotting them, then speeding away in a dark gray sports car.
Boarded up and fenced in after hundreds of service calls and dozens of shootings, including several just this week.
There was 3 more shootings and 3 more victims So we had enough.
The city of San Antonio is temporarily shutting down operations at Twin Sisters Cantina. The temporary restraining order is only good for 2 weeks, but they are asking for the business to be closed for at least a year.
Turning out to be a messy Friday evening commute for people out there. Let's take a look at 410 and McCullough. You can see several lanes blocked off, but again, we don't know exactly what's causing this tie-up.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery. You can see there are emergency vehicles that are on the scene. It looks like just 2 lanes are open right now. Again, this is 410 and McCullough. Earlier, we showed you the scene at 281 in Jones-Maltsberger. That seems to be clearing up. But just as that's clearing up, it seems like this is happening not too far, actually, from each other. Again, this is 410 at McCullough.
Tomorrow morning, a little chill in the air. We'll be right around 30 degrees. Then by the afternoon, 60s. Similar on Sunday, just a few degrees warmer. Sunshine all weekend. Monday, a chance of rain. We could have a few meaningful showers, especially east of San Antonio. We'll fine-tune that forecast and keep you updated in the days ahead. And then a cold snap by the end of next week, next Thursday. Some colder air, but not like last February.
All right. Thanks for clarifying. Thank you for watching the news at 6.
You kind of have to clarify that these days. We'll see you